All right. Just chat for a little bit whilst I drive. Not long. We don't have long, but I figured chat for a little bit because I haven't done one of these in I don't know how long. It has been quite some time since we've done a Car-versation. And since it's the day after, hold on, there we go. Since it's the day after Memorial Day, there's quite a bit of traffic on the freeway. So, just taking it slow anyway. And I figured people pop in, cool. People chat it up, say a couple things, ask questions, hit the like button. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. You know how the usual stream goes. But we got some good stuff happening this week. Been thinking a lot about content and how it's going and how I'm feeling about different things. You know, I think we all at some point or another get a little disenfranchised with what we're doing. We go through these like humps and cycles where we feel good, simultaneously not feeling good. But still trying to keep my head up, keep moving forward, and actually feel fairly good for the most part. Trying to make halfway decent use of my time. Been reading a little bit. Can thank our friend Hypnotic for my recent manga addiction. Was able to pick some up and I read the entire first omnibus of Lone Wolf and Cub, which was awesome. So I'm going to go today and pick up the second one and read that. And then I got the first three volumes of Assassination Classroom and Demon Slayer. Because I've watched a decent amount of Demon Slayer, so I don't know. I want to see how the mangas differed, if they differed at all from the shows. I don't really know how they like translate or how they're supposed to translate, but I don't know if I'd want to see Lone Wolf and Cub made into an anime. It's really, really fucking cool. I love the slow progression of it, and I love how each of the stories, each of the books contained have a very, very elaborate nice picks. I'm curious how they would differ. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I have to go back and kind of watch them, but really the most time I've put in so far is Lone Wolf and Cub. What's up, DJ Ronnie? Glitch, what's going on? But yeah, rest assured the Lone Wolf and Cub is really good. Each book contained has a different assassination, and it's done. They're pretty elaborate in how they sort of unfold, which is really cool. I really, really like how he goes about them, and like the involvement with his kid. So he's a Ronin. He was an executioner, like a samurai, and then he lost his wife, and he's gone on this like assassin for hire. So at some point during each of these books, like you learn why he's doing what he's doing. Some of them again are pretty elaborate, It's pretty rad. So I don't want them to like what I've read so far is so good. I wouldn't want them to ruin it with a bad show. But I feel like anime and manga, they stay pretty faithful to one another, which is good. So they probably wouldn't mess everything up like that. Never know though. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick up volume 2 today. Yeah, definitely. Lone Wolf and Cub, I for sure recommend. And I haven't heard anyone really talk about him, which has been interesting. You know, when I picked up Assassination Classroom and Demon Slayer because everyone always talks about them. Everyone always talks about how great they are, and I've watched some of the shows for both of them, but I wanted to read. I don't know. I'd rather read at this point. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Reading is good. Reading is good. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Would do again. No, I hope everyone had a good Memorial Day weekend. Hope you guys stayed safe. I been listening to a lot of different things. Went to the gym a couple times. Speaking of which, I gotta call my doctor. My shoulder's killing me. Yeah, my weekend was good. I've been on this like sort of. I don't know. I feel like it's a perpetual sort of like figuring it out. And maybe that's just everyone's journey through life, but I think one of the discouraging parts of me, something I think of that is discouraging for myself, is I'm always trying to figure it out. Whereas like I get nervous that others have figured it out. Like, well, why haven't I figured it out yet? And I use that as some sort of like, well, that's bad. You should have figured it out already. So it becomes this perpetual like spinning downward spiral, which you can't compare yourself to other people. It's not good, but it's hard to help it. But I'm trying to figure. I guess what it comes down to is figuring out, well, what is it that works for me, right? Like, I think I really enjoy imparting whatever knowledge I have on people and giving a perspective that others don't always have. And I'm thinking that's where this all goes. Is the more time I spend on Twitter, the less time I want to spend on there, and maybe give people the opportunity to speak to me directly, like online, like through live streams. Like maybe we can do Q&As and like direct members only live streams rather than doing game stuff. Like that's kind of the route I'm thinking of going, because then there might be something more evergreen down the road, as we can find something that people might like. Because I said I think I bring a unique thought process where I think people are used to this is the way or that's the way, and maybe they're missing a more grounded approach. I've noticed that people are starting to want to approach things in a more like nuanced way. And I use the word clout goblins, not necessarily just because I don't know any other word to use, but I think the clout goblins on social media want to stir trouble because it's lucrative to their own statistics. Like they get followers, they get engagement, which in turn could lead their engagement elsewhere for monetization or whatever. And that's something I for sure want to avoid, because as interesting as it is that people can make money doing that, I don't want to be a part of the problem, because I do think that is I think it's a huge part of the problem, that people will farm engagement out of something because they know people are mad. And I think there's an untapped resource. Well, I don't think it's untapped. I think people are starting to divert away from the content that is saying I think people are starting to pull away from the polarizing content more and more, and I think they're starting to seek out more like rational trains of thought. I think that's now where people are starting to funnel, is into groups where they feel like, oh, I can change my mind here. Like, I don't just have to toe the line in fear of being ostracized. I can fall into this group, and oh, look, this group is having a discussion on it, and they're not just saying, F you, get out of here, or, oh, this guy talked to someone I didn't like, so, now I gotta leave his community, I gotta unfollow him, I gotta do all this stuff. Like, we're starting to see people be more rational and realize, like, the people they follow, if they talk to people that are not on the same, like, it's not a personal slight to them. If I talk to someone you don't like, I'm not insulting you by talking to that person. I'm just talking to them for my own reasons. Yeah, what up? What's up, what up, Professor Savage? Sorry. Yeah, I mean, not even everything has to do with politics, Like, even I was seeing stuff. Like, everything's made to be like a political statement, and maybe there is some political statements and things, and maybe sometimes we have people who are like behind the times on what's going on. Polarizing, it triggers me. Yeah. No, and that's just it. Savage Dad is like, you don't have to like them, but somewhere I do think that, like, somewhere along the line, I'll have a conversation with somebody, and I think I've said this before. My conversations with people, you don't have to like them, but it might teach you something you didn't know you could do. And maybe that's being able to sit through a conversation with people you disagree with a little bit easier. Like, I don't think people appreciate the small victories that you achieve every day amount to so much more than these grandiose outcomes that everyone's always expecting. I never understood, that's what we're fed in media. So I get it. Like, when we watch a movie or a TV show, we are seeing big outcomes happen. Oh my God, this guy did this, and he saved the day, and it was this one action that turned it all around. When in real life, those things, the real changes that are made throughout your life are made incrementally over time. Very few are done in these I don't even know the word to use. Profound moments. Very few are these giant profound moments. Sorry, I'm all bouncing everywhere. I have to stop and get a holder for my phone. I'm holding it in my other hand right now, and I can't see chat. I apologize. I think I am gonna go back to like Q&A style streaming, and then even bring in like members can like join like through parts of it too. We'll do like one day a week of that, because I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot of value I can bring. And then I think it also gives value to memberships, you know. Doesn't it look good in the sun, bro? I love it. It's a nice sunny day. It's gonna be like 85 today. 85 motherfucking degrees. Damn. Right by a cop, huh? Get him. Get him. Oh, wow. That dude flew by me on the right-hand side, saw that there was a cop, and then it just snatched the brakes, but the cop's not doing shit. 100 plus? Damn, dude. Yeah. I also want to like see what we can do via. I would like to see what we can do via gaming, but I've been actually enjoying just like playing games offline without like having to feel like I need to include everyone. Like, yeah, I think that's where we're headed with content, is multi-stream, YouTube, Twitch, and like Kick probably, and then do like just chatting stuff, and then like kind of do like Q&A stuff, talk about things that are on my mind, make it clippable, and then allow members only to join as well, because I really like y'all. I do, and one of the things I like doing so much is meeting everyone in person, and then eventually, you know, like having people on the stream when we can, you know, just setting up something StreamYards wise, and just kind of chilling out, even if it was for just a little bit. But I don't know. I'm doing my absolute best to stay out of internet drama that has reared its ugly head over the past week. I'm sure we'll talk about it tomorrow on the midweek hump, but it's been an interesting week for some people on the internet, that's for sure. And I think the only thing I'll say at the moment is to share the sentiment that Extra Zero had, was that, you know, putting kids in harm's way is quite possibly the most uncool thing. Quite possibly the most uncool thing you can do. And while I want certain internet personalities to get the help they need, sometimes I think it's deserving of something harsh. And I'm not really necessarily sorry. Like, I've recently read and seen a couple of videos on recognizing people's patterns and understanding that that's like who they are at their core, and like, you know, watch what they do. You know, if you see someone do something when their back is turned, or when they think other people's back are turned, that's generally who they are. So, to that end, I think this was probably all warranted, and this is probably who this person is. Again, what I think what I wish though was that we lived in a world that understood. Like, I think the worst possible thing right now is people using it as a way to as a way to make money on behalf of someone else's misfortune. And then I also think that it's really bad that that he is still public facing and in the public eye and not dealing with anything in a private way. Like, I want people to get the help they need. They need to change. Otherwise, I mean, what else? What's the alternative, right? But it is certainly not my place to pass judgment. I have been on the losing side of this before, not in this extreme by any means, but I've made some pretty shitty decisions in my time, but I've tried to learn from them. But when needed, I took a step back and was not, trying to deal with it publicly. Not very smart. And it doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't show that you truly understand what's at stake. And I'm not mentioning names on purpose because, again, I think it's better served to keep the names out of it. You can fill in the blank as you wish, but however I talk about it, if I talk about it without a name, all the lessons apply to whoever. Well, and I think, I mean, it's a matter of public record. When things are a matter of public record, it's a matter of public record. People can find out. But going and searching that stuff out and plastering it all over the internet as if it wasn't going to get everywhere in an instant because that person has a lot of internet clout is just foolish. I mean, and again, like, him being who he is, like, when you're a public figure like that, in my opinion, it's best to deal with this stuff offline. Pull yourself out of the limelight, heal, and come back when you're ready. Make it a redemption story. I mean, sometimes we have to retreat before we can, before we can press forward. Retreat, regather resources, regather your mind, gather your family, whatever it might be. But it breaks my heart. For sure. I hope everything's figured out sooner than later. Shit. Yeah, man, I don't know. Pulling it up here. Oops. Yeah, it's just the other issue too is, I mean, I guess understanding that Twitter is just a crazy cesspool of bad opinions, and most of them aren't legit. They're just meant to enrage you. Even the most rational person gets caught up in the nonsense of online drama. It's easy to get mad at all that stuff. Realize like, I know that all that shit's fake, but it still makes me mad that people engage the way they do, especially big accounts, man. And I hear all the time, I'll engage if I want to. This is my page. Don't tell me what to do. Yeah, but, I don't know. You're when you feed the trolls, they want to keep eating. Others had put it in a way I would agree. They have to want to change, get better first. It may be way worse before it gets better, but they have support. Yeah. That is 100% true. 100% true. Never go on social media, not Twitter, not anything. You're probably very smart for doing so. I only use Twitter because the others post good art. Yep. Yeah. It is a cesspool, unfortunately. But yeah, guys, I am going to call the stream here. It was a quick little stream while I was driving. I'm heading into work right now. I appreciate you guys coming, hitting the like button, and watching and talking. Definitely, we got some cool stuff coming. I want to make some changes, and we're going to make some changes on the channel. So appreciate you guys, but like I said, I gotta head into work. Check you guys next time. See ya.